She busy? I don't care.
Oh my God, Marcus.
That's shit, dude. Right now.
You got me feeling for you right now. Roll the gas, we can blow it, baby, right now. Drink a little, get you lit, see you hype now. Ain't talking later, shit, I really want you right now. Hit the bedroom, then we turn the lights down. Legs up, got me doing suicide now. Looking though you got the sheets all wet now. Let's get it in, love, I'm talking about right now. Right now, it's me and you, chilling out by the pool. Living our best lives, we blowing the best fruit. Sweet is the best fruit. For starters, you make a nigga blush. We on the journey, I promise you, we ain't gotta rush. Skin soft is the best silk, I gotta touch every part of your body before I tear it up. After we flood the sheets, we gotta paddle up. Empty that arch in your back that have a nigga stuck. Back shots, I'm giving you on a regular. Non-stop fights, we doing all the etc. It's so fine, I figure I got a million. Can't be the best, I'm probably gonna have to count it up. Got the paper while we rolling up. Eat the bread right, shit, I'm trying to leave it up. Let's over just so I can see your price now. Let's get it in, shit, I'm talking about right now. Yeah, you got me feeling for you right now. Roll the gas, we can blow it, baby, right now. Drink a little, get you lit, see you hype now. Ain't talking later, shit, I really want you right now. Hit the bedroom, then we turn the lights down. Legs up, got me doing suicide now. Looking at you got the sheets all wet now. Let's get it in, love, I'm talking about right now.
Right now. But your boy shit, soon as you leave the house, I'm still looking for the store like a kill count. Full of different shit, you all into this, sick, have you twisted, all big shit. Yeah, going hard, none of that timid shit. Oh, last time she said harder, I did it. Talking right down, lights down. Love sees squeeze the sheets, feel a white down. Ain't it nice how you lie down, put your legs up, side down, put you on top, help you drive down. Love how you saddle it, watch you climb down. Climb in deep, watch you clutch sheets. Blood exhale like a spreadsheet. That's gonna take some good notes, probably write it down. See what's going on. Right now.
You got me feeling for you right now. Hold the gas, we can blow it, baby, right now. Drink a little, get you lit, see you hype now. Ain't talking later, shit, I really want you right now. Hit the bedroom, then we turn the lights down. Hands up, got me doing suicide now. Looking though you got the sheets all wet now. Let's get it in, love, I'm talking about right now.
PK, pick a pussy, probably put it in Pacific. Twist it like a ghetto bird, kinda say Pacific. Like SMS, Bruce, see how I kick it. If I ask, special another scene, special release you with it. This is King Talk, tell them niggas catch up. I feel niggas just say I don't press up. Lesser, babe says you want to keep it mixing. Now we extra ingredients to mix it out on the scene. Don't head it home on the E-way, connect us to HS. Express how the scene play, getting top down on the E-way with the top down. King getting roll white, drove, now we hot now. On play mode, I ain't even hit the driveway. Word to Usher King, always sit in my way. I said I owe the dick, so I got some debts to pay. She can role play right now, just press play.
You got me feeling for you right now. Roll the gas, we can blow it, baby, right now. Drink a little, get you lit, see you hype now. Ain't talking later, shit, I really want you right now. Hit the bedroom, then we turn the lights down. Legs up, got me doing suicide now. Looking though you got the sheets all wet now. Let's get it in, love, I'm talking about right now.
Yeah. Right, yeah. What up? Y'all already know it's the man about town, Virgil Berry, aka Stacks with the Facts. And y'all know, y'all definitely tapped in, tuned in with another episode of A Real Talk Podcast. Thursday night, ladies' night. Let's go. What's good with y'all, man? How y'all doing? You know, I just got a call from the computer store today. They told me that my computer will be ready tomorrow. Brand new screen, brand new CPU fan. You understand what I'm saying, man? They did a data wipe. You know what I'm talking about? Everything is going to be running good. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? I spent a lot of money on my computer, man. You know, I got a real nice laptop. You know what I'm talking about? So, you know, I had to invest some money in keeping up with the repairs on that baby. I'm telling y'all got y'all laptop and you do a lot from it. You know what I'm saying? I added some more memory, some more RAM to my laptop. You know what I'm talking about? You know, so I upgraded my hard drive. You know what I'm saying? I already had a terabyte, so now I got a 5 terabyte hard drive on my computer. You know what I'm talking about? You got to spend that money, man. You know what I'm saying? And, it's important that you do that. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But tonight's show is very important for a lot of reasons. You understand what I'm saying? And I wanted to have this show because I had did a live, you feel me, on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about? And a lot of chicks was chiming in with this one, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm talking about? I wanted to, you know, take a little bit more in depth. You understand what I'm saying? I want to take a little bit more in depth look into this situation. You know what I'm saying? Uh, it's very important for fathers to be in both of their children's life. Like, I don't want y'all to think that I'm saying like one is more important than the other, because that's just not true. But tonight, since it's ladies' night, and we're gonna at the hour mark, we're gonna open up the panel, man. At the hour mark, we're gonna open up the panel, and any of you beautiful ladies that want to come up, add to it. I mean, say something, speak on something. You will be more than welcome to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm not one of these niggas that sit up here and talk about what these broads are doing all day, because it's more important stuff going on than what a broad doing or what a broad thinking. You feel me? Or how a broad feeling. You know what I'm saying? But since I am a man, a ladies' man at that, you hear me? And I love the ladies. I love y'all to death. Don't ever get it twisted. I dedicated one night a week of my show to y'all, whether I'm having a guest on the show or whether we're having a topic of discussion that's more or less more geared to females, to women. You know what I'm saying? And this situation right here is a conversation that I don't really, I'm not gonna say it's a, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a conversation that doesn't get had, because I would be lying if I said that. But it is a conversation that isn't had often and isn't talked about in depth. And you know what I'm saying, due to the amount of chicks out here who was raised by their mamas, you know, and they wasn't raised around no man, a lot of them don't see the value or significance in having their father in their lives. But then you got a lot of chicks who do. So don't ever get this twisted. Like I always say, like I'm just pigeonholing this. I know it's some chicks out there who do understand the importance of having a father in their life, because maybe y'all didn't grow up without one, right? But that's not necessarily what we're talking about tonight. You feel me? What we're focusing on tonight, you know what I'm saying? We focusing on why it's important for young girls to have their fathers in their lives. And what I mean by that is, I mean this from the perspective of a guy and a man and a woman who are co-parenting with each other. You know what I'm saying? I left that out, you know what I'm saying, because I didn't want to get too general and too specific. You know what I'm saying? I left that out because, you know, across the board, you know what I'm saying, whether you with your child's father or not, if y'all in a relationship or y'all married or whatever the situation may be, I just want to focus on the importance, you know what I'm saying? And that's the aspect where I'm coming from, but I left it kind of vague, you know what I'm saying, because that's just, you know, that's just part of my thing right there, you know what I'm talking about? Because, you know, people like to take things out of context, right? And if you don't break down every aspect of everything from jump, you know what I'm saying, some people, you know what I'm saying, y'all know what I mean, man. You know what I mean? But tonight, you feel me, we're going to be discussing the importance of a father's role in his young daughter's life, specifically and especially, right? Specifically and especially if y'all not together, right? This is from a co-parenting situation, right? And it's very imperative that fathers be in, like I said, it's important that fathers be there in both children's life. If you got a son and a daughter, it's very important that you're there for both. But we're not talking about that tonight. We're focusing strictly on the importance of a father in his daughter's life, especially if y'all not together, right? So, man, this can come from many aspects and angles, which we definitely want to do. You understand what I'm saying? And, it's very important. And I'm not going to speak from my sister's perspective, but I'm pretty sure if my sister was up here, she could speak on it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But my dad wasn't completely, totally out of the picture. He was for a point of time, but you know what I'm saying? My mom and dad was married when they had me and my sister, and due to certain situations, you know what I'm saying, they end up not being together. But even though in the early stages, when my mom and my dad wasn't together, they had a good co-parenting situation going on, and me and my sister spent plenty of time with my pops. My pops always had his own place to stay after him and my mom broke up, got divorced, and he always had kept his own place. So, my mom was not the type of mom. She did not hinder. She did not prevent. She did not put a wedge. She didn't paint a picture of our father to us. Matter of fact, she encouraged interaction. She made us interact. And I understand now as a grown man, let me come up here. I understand now as a grown man why my mom did what she did. You know what I'm saying? Is angry, upset, bitter, whatever y'all want to call it, as she may have been at my pops for whatever happened between them. She didn't let that reflect on our perspective or our relationship with our pops. And I appreciate my mom for that. I tell her that all the time too. Because even y'all know, I just talked to my pops earlier today. You know what I'm saying? And, he's just been under the weather a little bit, but he said we're gonna get right back to it the 1st of July. So you know what I mean, he want to give himself some time to rest and get better. Because Pop's getting up in age, man. He be 69 years old in a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean, I personally think that's kind of young, but what I'm saying, he said he may have been feeling under the weather lately, so I'm not going to sit up here and pressure him. And you know what I'm saying, man, it's going to be a beautiful thing, man. But it's all good. But you know what I'm saying, it's important for us fathers to be there in our daughters' lives, especially, even more so, I would say, if we are not together, right? And it's very important. Let me take the camera off. I'm gonna come back up. It's very important that we, that we figure things out, right? More often than not, when it comes to this dynamic, a lot of y'all chicks be feeling some type of way. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of y'all chicks, y'all be in y'all feelings. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of y'all chicks, y'all be on some straight revenge type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying all of y'all now. I'm saying some of y'all, right? Some of y'all chicks be upset still that the relationship didn't work out. So what a lot of y'all tend to do is y'all will let that be a factor into how you allow access to the little girl, right? And and speaking from personal experience, man, you know what I mean? It's important that you as a woman, right, make sure that, like I said, unless your child's father is a creep, unless he doesn't sit up there and created a situation in his personal life where it would just not be conducive for y'all's daughter to be around him, right? Unless it's unsafe physically, you know what I mean? Emotionally. I'm talking about unless he's like out here in the streets, he got his house as a trap house and he got people coming in and out and he got all type of bras and he got all type of people around you. That's a different situation, man. But more often than not, that is absolutely not the situation. Most fathers got their stuff together. Most of us work, have a job, or own our business, or whatever the situation is. Most of us have a decent situation going on for ourselves. So, you know, there's really no reason for you to cause a wedge or to make things difficult. Like I said, I'm not saying make anything easy, right? Because us men, we don't want nothing made easy for us. And I like to think I speak for most men when I say that. But one thing we do not want is things to be made difficult. And a lot of y'all chicks make things difficult, right? Y'all would rather sit here and allow your daughter to be in the most tumultuous, dysfunctional environment at home, right? And your daughter's father could have his own place. I'm not saying he balling out of control. I'm not saying he lived in Bexley in a mini mansion. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is he got his own place. He got his own house, his own apartment, condo, whatever the situation is. His place is decent, it's clean. You know what I'm saying? Y'all's daughter got their own area at his house. You know, he got food in his house. You know what I mean? The bills is paid. She's safe over there. She's comfortable. Versus y'all creating a situation to where your daughter's father has access to her and can be an influence on her life. A lot of y'all's lives are in complete shambles. In shambles. You know what I mean? And, versus y'all sending y'all daughter to her father would probably be the most conducive environment for her until you get your home situation together. Y'all will keep y'all's daughters in the most dysfunctional, tumultuous environments, right? Y'all will keep y'all daughters in the most dysfunctional and tumultuous environments at home versus letting them go be with their father, right? For whatever reason, y'all do that, right? Now, and I know a lot of y'all can relate with me to relate to this. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all maybe even experienced this to an extent. Right? And it's just a sad situation because the only person that loses out is the daughter. Right? Right? Now I want y'all to listen to this.
Different for boys and girls. Like, what does I mean, it's fashionable in some circles to say, well, fathers or mothers, they're interchangeable. But common sense and maybe the entire anthropological record suggests that the roles are different. I've seen, just to give a mundane example, I've seen kids playing in the park. You know, the child's on a climbing structure, and the mother will say, "Be careful, Kimmy," and the dad will say, "Can you get to the top?" You know, just that sort of thing. I think, you know, most of us see that kids benefiting from both. And if you have only one parent, the other is not there. But typically it's the father. What do we know about the effects on girls and young women?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. When it comes to sort of thinking about the impact of dads on the daughters, what we see basically is that daughters are more likely to flourish educationally and later on in life professionally when they've had involved dad who's engaged with them in their lives. And so there's a way in which both fatherhood and marriage done right is today, I think, acting in service of
Excuse me, y'all.
women's progress. So my research, for instance, shows that young women who come from an intact family are more likely to be flourishing in the labor market in their late 20s compared to young women who haven't had that in their background. So again, there's a way in which today girls and women benefit from having an active father.
And this is across the class lines.
Across class lines. We also see too, when it comes to teen pregnancy, that women who have a father present are much less likely to become pregnant as teenagers, and women who have a close, emotional relationship with their dad are much less likely to become pregnant as teenagers. So having both a father present in your life, having an engaged and affectionate dad in your life is a real resource for our girls here in the U.S.
And I remember, and I've tried to debate this sometimes with gender scholars, and they never say much about it, but isn't it protective for children, particularly girls, the father, the biological father in the home, the likelihood of violence or sexual predation, it increases exponentially when the dad's gone and you have a mother's live-in boyfriend. Is that, do you have, you've
Yeah, so the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services publishes a report on a fairly regular basis on child abuse and child neglect. And they have a figure that sort of maps out or charts out the relationship between family structure and child abuse. So the physical abuse of kids, the sexual abuse of kids, and the emotional abuse of children. And they're combining boys and girls in this particular figure. And there's a very strong association between family structure and kids' safety and these three outcomes. And so kids who are being raised in an intact biological married family have much lower rates of abuse than kids in other arrangements. And the most risky place in America is where you have a biological parent and an unrelated adult. They don't specify how that's arranged, but that's typically the mom and an unrelated male boyfriend. That's a much riskier place for our kids. They're about 9 times more likely to be physically, sexually, or emotionally abused in those relationships or family contexts than kids who are being raised in intact married families. So that's just one indication of the way in which both, in this case, both girls and boys are safer from the scourge of child abuse, when they're being raised by their own married parents.
Right. 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 Typically, children raised by only their mother, typically, they're more violent. Typically, they go to prison. Typically, if your daughter is raised by her mother without the interaction of her father, she has an exponentially high chance of becoming a single mother, a single teenage mother at that. Children raised by just their father tend to turn out just as good as kids who are raised by both their mother and their father. Right? So this whole idea of, you can raise children by yourself, that is a fucking lie. Right? Because even if your child, let's say, for instance, you a mom and you raise your daughter on your own without a man in the home or different men in so many different scenarios. Even if you the type of chick who had enough respect for yourself and your child, your daughter, to not have other men around her, depending on how you were raised, right? You're going to be raising your daughter that she don't need no man. She got to work for everything she needs and blah, 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 right? Which is dysfunctional, is just as dysfunctional as anything else, right? And notice he said, when y'all chicks sit up here and don't require a guy to marry y'all before making y'all a mother, the relationship tends to not work out. So now you done sit up there, you done had a baby by this guy, you done gave this guy the highest. Listen, here I'm talking about, I want y'all to understand something, ladies, man. When y'all allow us to get y'all pregnant, right? That is the highest honor that any woman could ever give any man. There's nothing more valuable. There's nothing more important. There's nothing more on a higher level that you could ever do or give a man than allow yourself to be a vessel, a conduit for his seed, y'all's child, to come through you. I want y'all chicks to understand how important that is, right? And like I always say, I hold myself to the highest account. One of my biggest regrets in my life is not marrying Jen's mom. Not because I want to be with Jen's mom now, but so our daughter could have been raised over and under the proper structure and order, God, man, woman, child. And I like to think that me and my daughter's mother, all those years ago, we could have figured it out, especially underneath my leadership and my structure, my order. You know what I'm saying? We would have definitely ended up making. Now, I couldn't predict going to, or I couldn't predict because I was in the streets and stuff. So, You know, and I take a lot of responsibility for my part because I was in the streets, getting to the money, hustling, selling dope, doing all this wild stuff. And like I said, financially, I was able to have a child, you know what I'm saying? But mentally, spiritually, I wasn't ready to be no father. And I have to carry that cross. You feel me? And I have, and I do. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, when y'all chicks sit up here and when y'all chicks sit up there and get in these relationships with guys who y'all don't require to marry y'all before y'all give them the highest honor you could ever giving, you know what I'm saying? And then things don't work out for whatever reason they don't work out. It don't even really matter who's at fault. That's not what we're talking about. What matters is when you break up with this guy or the relationship dissolves and it doesn't work out, there tends to be a bit of bitterness, saltiness. You understand what I'm saying? On y'all's female side, for the most part, to the point to where, like I say, even if this guy, even if y'all didn't work out as a couple together, you know what I'm saying? This guy, more than likely, your child's father is a decent dude. He goes to work. He has his own situation going on, and he's good. You know what I'm saying? So there would be no reason, like I said, for you as a mother to hinder that interaction between the man and his daughter. Get rich or die trying. Definitely need to have standard and boundaries. You right about that, Miss Get Rich or Die Trying. Welcome to the show, loved one. You know what I'm saying? All y'all ladies, I'm going to open up the panel here in about 30 more minutes, and I want y'all ladies to come up here and speak on this, man. You hear me? And as a guy who was raised by my mom for a period of time, I can tell you the importance of a father in their daughter's life from the perspective of me being a father and the perspective of me being a brother to my sister when my dad wasn't around, right? And one thing I can say about my mom never hindered that. She never put a wedge in between that. She never made it difficult for my father to interact with us. Matter of fact, my mom used to make us go to our father's crib. Like I said, my father, that's one thing I respect about my pops, man. My pops always had his shit together. He ain't never, when I say had his shit together, I'm talking about as far as the estate. He always had his own place. He always had his own vehicle. He always worked and all of that stuff. Now, as far as what they have going on in his personal life, that ain't none of my business. You feel me? But it wasn't such a situation to where it would not have been safe for me and my sister to be around him. So it had been them days. And I can remember when I was a kid, it had been them weekends where I wanted to go hang out with my friends. I wanted to go spend the weekend playing with my friends. My mom was like, no, you going to your dad's house this weekend. Made us go. And as a kid, I used sometimes like to be mad. It wasn't nothing against my dad. I just wanted to play with my friends. But I understand now as a man and as a father to a daughter, I understand the importance of that now. And I respect my mom for that. No matter what the relationship situation was between her and my father, she never allowed that to come in between the relationship between my sister and my father. Never let that happen. I got hella respect for my mom for that. So when I be hearing y'all chicks out there say the bullshit y'all say, I don't be hearing that shit and I don't be feeling that shit because my mom, who's a tough cookie, even she was feminine enough, woman enough to realize how important it was for our father to be having an influence in our lives. See, a lot of y'all chicks, y'all got daughters by guys who are pretty decent dudes. And because the relationship did not work out between you guys, you feel some type of way about that. And you cause a situation that is tumultuous, that is dysfunctional. And then on top of that, y'all be bringing other niggas around our daughters. Now, it's not that you bringing other guys around our daughters. It's the type of guys y'all bringing around our daughters. And more often than not, a lot of y'all chicks is lost and turned out. Rest of the essence to my brother Simply P. Lost and turned out. You did. Y'all lost and turned out, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be bitter. Now, granted, there's bitter baby dads out there. I know this to be true, but there's way more bitter baby mamas than there are bitter baby dads. Trust me. Right? And I noticed I talked to too many different guys, man. A lot of y'all chicks make it difficult for a guy to be involved in his daughter's life simply because you are holding on to a grudge, disdain, because of things that happen between y'all two. And what I often see is that y'all allow that to reflect on how you parent your daughter. And it also reflects and has a very strong influence on how your daughter sees her father, because a lot of y'all chicks are immature. Y'all have personal childhood trauma that y'all have not soon begun to address. So you would allow that to intervene, right? And have influence over your daughter's perception of her father. A lot of y'all chicks create a situation to where y'all's daughters feel like they have to protect y'all. And that is utterly wrong. It is not your child's position. It is not your child's job, role to protect you. Once you as a mother have made your child feel, your daughter feel, and I'm talking specifically daughters, right? Once y'all chicks sit up there and create a situation to where your daughter feels like she has to protect you, you failed as a mother. You already failed when you didn't require her dad to marry you. Number one fail right there. But we can get past that. It's super failure when you created an environment where your daughter feels like she has to protect you. Now, when I go on this, as we go along with this show tonight, I don't want anybody to get the idea that I'm trying to paint a bad picture of my daughter's mother. I never talk negative about my daughter's mother to her in her presence. I never paint a bad picture of her mother to her, although I could, but I don't, because I understand I don't want my opinion, my views on my daughter's mother to have influence on how she sees her mother. Now, mind you, most often than not, the daughter lives with the mother. She's the custodial parent. So I don't need to paint no picture of you. You do a good job of that yourself. Now, let me tell y'all something, man. Kids grow up, man, and we remember things, man. You understand? So Uncle Diggity was good. We grow up and we remember things. And that's why I got hella love and respect for my mom. Because although she made a lot of mistakes coming up, raising us after her and my dad divorced, right? She never created a situation to where I had a negative look at my pops, but she did create a situation where I, as a young man, felt I had to protect my mom in certain situations. So she felt in that area, right? But as a mother to a daughter who's not with your daughter's father, it is imperative that you create the situation to where your daughter's father is thoroughly, heavily involved in every aspect of her life, regardless of what you may feel about this man because of what happened between y'all. And often that is what the situation is. I'm talking about you as a father could be working 2 jobs, have your own place, your own vehicle or 2, decent credit, pay all your bills. Crib is not probably in the most luxurious area, but you got a decent place. It's clean. You take care of it. Your bills are paid. Right? And just because a chick is salty about what happened or didn't happen between y'all when y'all was together, that will be used as an excuse, a reason to cause division, separation between your daughter and you. Right? And I don't want to hear none of because that's not what we're talking about tonight. I blaze the niggas on another night. Tonight, we're talking about the ladies. This is ladies' night. We're talking about y'all. So shut up and be accountable for y'all shit. Because a lot of y'all chicks out here is doing exactly what I'm describing tonight. Y'all are making it difficult for your daughter's father to be involved. Y'all making it difficult for your daughter's father to have an influence and be an influence in her life. Y'all making it difficult for your child to interact with the father. Y'all don't encourage y'all's daughters to interact with their fathers. Y'all don't make y'all daughters interact with their father, even if the hell they don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all create this environment to where, you know what I'm saying, your daughter may feel like she has to choose. You hear me? Y'all might create the situation to where you are dealing with trauma that you haven't dealt from when you was a little girl. So y'all involve y'all daughters in adult scenarios and situations concerning their father. Y'all sit up there and we'll put it on speakerphone. Y'all will put on speakerphone a conversation between you and your daughter's father, and then you say, "Look, see how your dad talks to me? See how your dad talks to me?" Y'all put y'all's daughters in adult situations, therefore robbing them of their youth and their childhood. Now they have a distorted view of not only themselves, but of you and their father. Son Kiss, what's up, baby? Son Kiss say when a father is out of a child's life, we're not talking about children though. Son Kiss, let's get it right now, baby. We're not talking about children. We're talking about specifically daughters tonight. I understand the importance of a father being there, period, for both children. That's not what we're talking about tonight, though, Son Kiss. We're talking about specifically the daughter-father dynamic, the importance of a father being in his daughter's life, especially when you and your daughter's father are not together. That's what we're talking about, right? But I'm going to read what you said, though. When the father is out of a child's life, it affects them differently, boy or girl, but for the sake of the string, when the daughter has an absent father, they grow up seeking security. Exactly. That's a fact, right? They grow up seeking security, solace in another man, right? You feel me? I know this to be a fact because, you know, my father was involved until he got on drugs, right? And to this day, that caused a rift between him and my sister. But I don't really speak on that because, for one, that ain't none of my damn business. Two, that's between my brother, my daughter, my sister, and my dad. And like I tell my sister all the time, well, you and dad, y'all hang out with each other. I said, man, that's because I forgive Pops. I said, you got to forgive not only yourself. I said, you got to forgive Pops for whatever you feel he didn't do. That's something that you got to do, though, sis. I ain't got nothing to do with that. We grown. You got to fix that shit. You got to want to fix that shit. So, whenever my sister comes to me with stuff about Pops, I'll be like, listen here, that ain't got nothing to do with me. We grown, sis. That you are grown. You figure that out. You fix that. Me and my Pops is good. You see, we got a show together. I hang out with my Pops. Matter of fact, when I get off of work tomorrow, I'm gonna go check on my Pops, man. I'm gonna go swing by there when I leave the gym. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, though, man, it's very important, y'all. Hold on, I'm about to play this video, man. Thanks for that comment, though, Son Kiss, man. I appreciate you tapping in. Y'all go over there to my sis, Son Kiss. Well, I ain't gonna say sis, Son Kiss, because you just never know. You know what I'm talking about? But y'all go over there, tap in with my baby Son Kiss, man. What's up with Brownie, man? I see Brownie ain't posting in a minute. What's up, my baby Brownie, man? I'm about to open up this panel here in about 21 minutes. I want y'all ladies to come up here and speak on this, man. Y'all go over there and subscribe to Sun Kiss, man. She be talking about all type of stuff over there, keeping the conversation going, positive conversation at that. You know what I'm saying? We need to support each other, man. And I want y'all to understand how important it is, y'all ladies, because a lot of y'all, and let's just be honest, man, a lot of y'all chicks think y'all can do this shit on your own. I'm going to just be honest, and I know a lot of y'all ain't going to like this, man. A lot of y'all not going to like what I'm about to say, but I don't care because I know it to be true, all right? Y'all are not good at raising children on y'all's own. I'm going to repeat that. Y'all are not good at raising children on y'all's own. I really don't give a damn how any of y'all feel about that. It's true. You cannot prove it to not be true. Y'all are not good at raising children on your own. Even if you raise your son, we ain't talking about boys, we talking about daughters. Even if you raise your daughter, even even if she grows up to not be a baby mama, even if she goes to college and becomes successful, the fact that you more than likely created a situation to where her father's not as involved as he would even like to be. You created a situation to where he's not involved. You created a situation to where he's probably on child support. You done painted this picture of your daughter's father to her based off of how you feel about him or the success or non-success of y'all's relationship. Y'all are not good at raising children alone. Even if your daughter grows up and become a college graduate, be successful in her field of study, career, you more than likely to raise your daughter, for one, to not respect men. Two, right, that she has to be independent. She don't need a man. Three, and four, she can basically do whatever she want or get whatever she want as long as she works hard. Y'all often paint the picture to y'all daughter that men are expendable. I done sit up here and have conversations with chicks who done sit up here and tell me that their mama has told them, if a nigga ain't paying your bills, ain't no need to messing with it. I done sit up, man, you can't tell me nothing different. I done had conversations with chicks who I know and who I don't know. Right? Y'all have created situations for your daughter where they feel like they gotta protect y'all. Y'all sit up there and make y'all daughters y'all friends. Y'all turn y'all daughters into sister daughters. Y'all turn y'all sons into son husbands, and y'all turn y'all daughters into sister daughters. Living vicariously through your daughter, robbing her of her innocence and of her youth. Y'all create situations where your daughters feel like they have to protect y'all. LP Lance Parker in the building, what it do, man? Right? Want y'all to listen to this, man. I'm about to come back up in a minute, man. We about to drop that link here in a second too, man. About 18 minutes, man. Tap in, man.
About when we've heard women in this room say, and women watching us say, but I didn't want to do to my children what my father had done to me. So I'm staying with him so my children will have a father. But what you focus on grows. I don't want my children to experience what I experienced. That's the focus. That's what you create. Yeah. What you focus on grows. Again, it's magnifying the againstness. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. But you're not saying what you do want. You're focusing on what you don't want. Okay, so let's get to it. How do we heal it? Well, first of all, this is everybody just clutch your pearls right now. You actually have pearls to clutch. I got my pearls. Let me just clutch my pearls right now. One of the first things that we have to do is tell the absolute truth.
And let me stop it right there, right? And I don't want y'all to think that I'm on, man, because listen, let me just say this real quick, man, because a lot of y'all motherfuckers be getting shit fucked up, man. Over here at A-Real Talk, don't ever confuse me with any of these fuck niggas, man. I mean, you can if you want, but I'm going to just tell you for my own sake, don't confuse me with any of these fuck niggas y'all see on this damn internet, man. Right? I'm the fucking truth, and it ain't a lie in me. You hear me? Let me repeat that. I'm the fucking truth, and it ain't a lie in me. Now, have I lied before? Yes. But as of times recent, hell no. I don't lie about shit, and I definitely ain't lying to none of you broads about nothing. You feel me? But y'all chicks be lying, right? Y'all paint pictures, y'all omit information, and y'all will create, like I said, a situation to where you don't want to be honest with your child, with your daughter, about the situation between you and her father. Now, and I'll add to this, a lot of y'all, like I say, y'all put y'all daughters in adult situations. Y'all actually be discussing the situation between you and your daughter's father to your daughter as if it's any of her fucking business. It ain't no child's business what the fuck happened between you and her dad. And y'all often not going to be 100 about what happened anyway, because more often than not, you was a big factor in whatever happened between you and your daughter's dad, whether it was right or wrong. Right? You picked the nigga. You picked the nigga. You picked the brother. Right? Take some accountability. It is hard for y'all to tell the truth. I don't give a damn what any broad says. I know y'all too good. Y'all some lying, some of them bitches, man. Y'all will not be honest. And that is a detriment to your daughter, because then that reflects on your daughter, and then she's going to see you making the decisions you make. Your daughter sees everything you do. Your daughter sees everything you do. Y'all remember that, ladies. Your daughter see everything you do. I don't bring women around Jen. I'm not even entertaining a lot of women right now. Very few, if any, right? There is 2 chicks that my daughter know about, and both of these 2 chicks is chicks who I've been in relationships with since I've been home. Jen, never meet any of you broads, man. You hear me? Y'all gotta earn that shit. And especially after my last 2 relationships I've been in since I've been home, oh hell no, I don't bring no bras around my daughter. You hear me? Y'all not worthy to meet my daughter, most of y'all, right? And the ones that I have, I don't regret it. I just make a plan to do better. And I know I'm not going to be introducing my daughter to no woman who is not going to be a part of my life. Now, it'll be different if it's business or if it's just an associate or something like that, then that's cool. But a chick who I'm digging or taking serious or feeling like we get to a point where I want to start taking you serious, oh, it's going to be some time to prove to me that you're worthy of me, because you don't get to meet my daughter. My daughter's the most precious asset outside of my own life to me. And for you to be able to even see my daughter, you have to be able to be worthy of that. You have to have earned that honor and privilege. Right? But a lot of y'all chicks don't do the same. And I don't give a fuck what any of y'all got to say. I know it's some of y'all who actually have respect for yourselves, who actually respect men, and whether it didn't work out between you and your daughter's father, you create a situation where he's involved, he can be involved. You don't make a situation to where it's difficult. You don't be having lots of different dudes in and out your house around your daughter, like a lot of y'all chicks be doing, right? I respect y'all type of chicks, man, but more often than not, a lot of chicks are not like that. The overwhelmingly mass majority of chicks just be letting anybody around their kids, man. You hear me? I know this to be true because I've been that nigga. I don't do that shit now. Look, girl, I don't want to meet your kids. If I start talking to one of y'all and I notice that y'all so nilly-willy to have me invite me over to your house and you got children, I might be cool when you're at that point because I don't want to meet your children, right? I don't want to meet your son or your daughter. And when I interacted with a chick and I realized she's not strict about that, oh yeah, at this point, I probably have stopped messing with you. But back in the day, I just fuck on you and bang up, get up through. And you'll always wonder why I always come through just to smash type shit. You feel me? Let's finish listening to Ayanla.
Radical, gut level, honest truth. And it starts with, I'm a daddy to start. Let me hear that. Okay, now I don't want you to say it from here up. I want you to get down in your body and really sit in it. I'm a daddyless daughter. I'm a daddyless daughter. You just said that's hard. Yeah. Who has ever really? What happened? It's hard.
That's very hard.
Tell me why.
To acknowledge it's true.
But acknowledgement is the first step towards healing.
We're gonna have a computer back tomorrow, y'all.
Because that's not the story I like to tell myself.
But is it your truth?
It's the truth.
See,
but I'm not telling
story
you
you tell yourself.
See, this comes from being raised without your father in your life, which more often than not, your mother intentionally made the situation like that. A lot of y'all girls, when y'all grow up and become women, and y'all either is on the low spectrum, didn't become successful, you have multiple children by multiple men, your baby mama on welfare, whatever, to the high end to where you did become successful. You went to school, whatever, but, right, you still end up becoming a baby mama, man, right? My man Flytown 614 in the building. What's good? My brother BJ Murphy in the building. How would it do, man? Right? See, this comes from not having your father in your life, not wanting to admit the truth and face the facts, right? A lot of y'all don't want to deal with the reality that you are a fatherless daughter. And more often than not, you're not a fatherless daughter because your dad was a piece of shit. You're not a fatherless daughter because your dad didn't want you. Your dad didn't want to be involved. He didn't want to be there. You're a fatherless daughter because your mother made it that way. And a lot of y'all chicks need to start fucking being honest and tell y'all daughters, you know what, the reason why your dad is not around, because your daughter's going to ask you one of these days. It's going to come a time when your daughter is going to become an adult. It's going to come a time when your daughter becomes a woman and starts thinking for herself. It's going to come a time when your daughter, who's been with you the whole entire time, she's going to start reflecting. She's going to start to have questions. She's going to peep. Listen, your daughter is peeping how you move. You might think you being slick. You might think your daughter is watching you. What my baby son kids say? Daughters end up, not all, doing what they saw growing up, good and bad. Facts. As opposed to do what they're told to do, not do. Exactly. Thank you, son kids. That is a fact. And this is why it's important, even if you ain't with your daughter's father, this is why it's important for you to have your daughter's father involved thoroughly. But see, your daughter's dad really knows you. He knows your flaws. He knows your failures. So some of y'all create that wedge between your daughter and your father and her father, so he can't bring that other side, that balance. More often than not, us men, we're not going to even have a discussion like that with our daughter. We're not going to paint no picture of you to our daughter. We're not going to sit up here and get into an adult type situation with our little girl concerning their mama, right? See, if you're a real man, a real father, when your daughter asks you anything about her mother, you're going to tell her none of your business. You're going to tell her, I understand you might feel some type of way about your mom, but that's your mom. You listen to her. Most fathers ain't going to be like, well, you know, your mom back in the day. I'm not going to do that. But see, y'all mothers, though, baby mamas, y'all will sit up here, your dad this, your dad that. When I was with your dad this, and blah, 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 blah. You might be feeling some type of way. You will sit up here and put on speakerphone the whole conversation between you and your daughter's father. And if your daughter's father is anything like me, I'm going to hold your ass accountable. Fuck if we ain't together. If I see you fucking up, if I see and start to notice situations and patterns in your life that's not conducive for the betterment of our daughter, girl, I'm going to goddamn say so. I'm going to check your motherfucking ass. I'm going to hold your ass accountable. I ain't going to talk nice. I ain't going to be disrespectful. I'm not going to cajole and coddle you. I'm going to reprimand you. I'm going to check you. I'm going to chastise you. I'm going to correct you. Right? One thing that women do not provide for their daughters is structure, order, and discipline. Because y'all ain't got that in y'all to provide. Y'all wasn't designed to provide that. Y'all was designed to nurture. This is why a daughter raised by her mother is overly emotional. She doesn't know how to handle her emotions. They handle their emotions in the way most of y'all, which is terrible. In this aspect, y'all definitely doing y'all's daughters a disservice. So it's very difficult for y'all to be honest, not only with your child, not only with your child's father, your daughter's father. It's difficult for y'all to be honest with y'all's daughter. It's difficult for y'all to be honest with y'allself. Y'all know the truth, and y'all still will deny it. And that don't hurt nobody but the little girl. The little girl grows up with a distorted view of not only herself, but of you. Right? Tap in, walk with us, man. Shout out to my brother Nike Boy Z. Right? Ooh, go get that ooh tape.
Myself that he just doesn't matter to me.
And that's a lie.
That's a lie. It's a lie from the pit of hell.
I'm a daddyless daughter.
And what I really feel about my father is
That I love him and I wish he were a part of my life.
and because he's not a part of my life, I feel
worthless sometimes.
yeah. And the way I cover up my worthlessness is
The way I cover it up is
Overachieving.
by not letting him in,
and now,
even when he tries.
and what else? How else do you cover up? Because you feel worthlessness when he's not around.
I overcompensate a lot.
Do you overcommit?
Yeah, I overcommit.
Yeah, overcommit.
I try to be super mom.
Okay. So here we go. Take a breath. And this is what I mean by the truth, everybody. Here we go. So repeat and complete with me. I'm a daddyless daughter.
I'm a daddyless daughter.
I acknowledge that I feel worthless sometimes.
I acknowledge that I feel worthless sometimes.
And what I do to hide that
And what I do to hide that
is overcommit,
is overcommit,
overcompensate, and try to be a super mom.
and try to be a super mom.
When the truth is,
When the truth is,
there's a part of me
there is a part of me
that feels broken and worthless.
that feels broken and
And I'm
worthless.
ready to heal that.
I'm definitely ready to heal that.
Take a breath.
Lost and turned out. Get rich or die crying. Or get rich or cry trying. Right? I'm going to read your comments. I have seen women like this and it's sad. I'm a fatherless daughter, but my mom lucked up and met an amazing man who stepped up and did his thing. But fathers are absolutely important to daughters, at least a good male role model. Yeah, man. Y'all know, man. Y'all show love to everybody, man. We about to drop this link in like 3 minutes. And I want y'all ladies to come up here and speak on this, man. Lost and turned out. She represents the overwhelmingly mass majority of Black women. Right? A lot of y'all's mothers deprived y'all. A lot of y'all's mothers made you to feel like you had to protect her. A lot of y'all mothers created the situation to where y'all was made to feel like y'all have to take care of your mother. No, you're not supposed to take care of your mother. And mothers, if you created a situation to where your daughter feels like she has to take care of you, she has to protect you, you fucking failed. You failed as a mother. It ain't it's not a daughter's job to protect you. How the fuck your daughter gonna protect you? Understand the damage that you are doing to your daughter, mothers, when you create this environment for your daughter. Whenever you have made your daughter feel like she has to protect you, like you are her emotional, like she's your emotional dish rag. She's your emotional tampon, your emotional maxi pad. Understand this is putting a lot on a young lady. And to add to that, you're creating a situation to where she has a tainted perspective of her father. And you wonder why these girls be growing up crazy, jumping from dick to dick, bell head to bell head, mushroom tip to mushroom tip, trying to seek some fucking security. When if you just would have been a woman and be honest and create that situation to where her father could be involved. Because more often than not, right? More often than not, we're not piece of shit out here. Most of us is pretty decent dudes. Most of us got our shit together, even if it's moderately. Most of us, to be honest with y'all mothers out there, y'all single mothers, it would probably be more conducive if your daughter went to go be with their dad. Just like if you are, and we ain't gonna speak on that. We're talking about little girls and their dads tonight. It will probably be in your daughter's best interest if you haven't even begun to address your childhood trauma, if you haven't begun to address your demons, and if you haven't begun to address being honest about actually why you are the way you are, because most of y'all are fatherless daughters. Most of y'all are daddyless daughters. And y'all mamas fucked y'all over. This is why y'all overcompensate with being super successful. You done took on all this masculine energy, sit up there and then had kids by niggas that you didn't require to marry you. And now you sitting here reflecting on your daughters, your fucked up behavior that your mom reflected on you. So now it's like a deadly cycle. I like how I see y'all interacting and engaging with each other in the comment section, man. It's all love over here, man. I don't ever intentionally disrespect anybody. I'm not a disrespectful person. Well, I got to keep it 100, though. My baby son kid said, listen, this is perfect. This is the overwhelmingly mass majority of the situations between the dynamic of a mother, the father, and their daughter, is what Sun Kiss just said right here. Using the little girl as a weapon or punishment when dealing with the father. Now, I said I'm not trying to paint a bad picture of my daughter's mother, because I'm not. I love the girl to death. I know her potential. So when I see her not operating in the potential I know she has to operate in, right? I digress, man, right? That's perfectly said right there. I'm about to drop the link after we, a matter of fact, I'm about to drop the link right now, right? I want some of y'all ladies to come up here and speak on this, man. You feel me? Because I know not all chicks is stupid and dumb. A lot of y'all actually realize how y'all been deprived. Y'all got questions for your mother. All right, let's finish listening to this.
But you feel it. You feel it in your body. So I'm thinking for everybody who's joining us around the country and the world, you need to acknowledge I am a daddyless daughter, and what you feel and how you hide those feelings and what you do to overcompensate for those feelings. Otherwise, you'll be sitting here looking pretty and puffed and coiffured, and covering up, because it's a level of emotional dishonesty that keeps you from being able to see the truth. So when Boo Boo shows up and looking like a rat picker, you tell yourself, look at that prince. Oh. You understand what I'm saying? Because the level of emotional dishonesty with which we keep ourselves broken. I think that's really key. The level of emotional dishonesty. Ooh, that's good. Becomes the filter for which we live every aspect of our lives. Yeah.
Powerful. Daddyless daughters, man.
What does your gut tell you? Not your head, which has the story and the upset with a 5-year-old and the 32-year-old are battling. What does your gut tell you about this broken-hearted man who participated in your existence in life?
My gut tells me that I need to work with him, that I need to figure out how to make it work.
Period. You don't have to figure out. And this is what you need to know. If your gut tells you, work with it. And you've got clear boundaries about what you will do, won't do, can do, can't do, what feels right. The minute that it begins not to feel right about, you're not trusting, the biggest way to heal anything is to acknowledge it and announce it. Say, you know what? I really want to work with you, but then there's a part of me that doesn't trust that you won't leave me. Yeah. Why not just tell the truth? Yeah. Okay.
Why not just tell the truth? Right? Let me tell y'all ladies something real quick, man. Right? And don't take this the wrong way. I fucking love y'all, man. I was raised by a black woman. My daughter is black. My sister is black. Don't come at me with that bullshit, man. Right? If I didn't love y'all, I would not be doing, man, listen. If I didn't love y'all, I would be taking advantage of y'all. And y'all would be giving me all y'all's money. See, I actually do care, and I got integrity, and I can't sit up here and look at myself in the mirror knowing this is how I'm getting my money by taking advantage of a fucking traumatized ass black bit broads. You hear me? Now, Let me tell y'all something real quick, right? And I didn't even know this was a movie, but that's what's up, right? This is for y'all ladies out there. Maybe this will put some things in perspective for y'all when it comes to men, and why I say us as men, we cannot allow ourselves to become emotional. We don't make decisions based off of how we fucking feel. Every time I made a decision based on how I felt, that shit landed me in a fucked up situation. 3 prison numbers based off making moves on how I feel. And I understand as a man now that I cannot afford to make moves, decisions, important decisions in my life as a man, especially the fact that I'm a father. I can't make moves off of how I feel. If I made moves based on how I feel, I would be in fucking jail right now behind my motherfucking daughter in the situation between me, her, and her mother. I would be in jail again. And then it would be totally counterproductive. Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things. I don't care if you're not a believer. I don't care if you don't, I don't care about any of that. The scriptures are what they are. This is true. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Right? So y'all women are the embodiment, the manifestation of emotions and emotionalism. Shout out to my brother Simple the P, rest in the essence. Us as men, we can't afford to become emotional. We cannot afford that. And this is what you are robbing your daughter of when you don't allow a situation to where her daughter can have her father can be heavily involved in her life. This is why it's important for y'all ladies to require a man marry you and make you his wife before you give him a child. Because see, if things don't work out and you get this nigga a baby, then you go get with another nigga, and due to the trauma you haven't addressed, you just be having any nigga around your daughter or no niggas around your daughter, including her father. And then, like I said, it ain't that her father's a piece of shit. It ain't that her father is not a decent God. It's that you choose to cause the situation to be difficult because of what happened between y'all. So when it comes to y'all ladies talking about some how I feel, fuck how you feel. Like the homie Kevin Samuels used to say, rest in the essence, French toast your feelings. Feelings ain't got nothing to do with the child. Because you put your feelings, project your feelings onto your daughter, and now your daughter has this distorted perception of her father. Right? Y'all put these dudes on child support when these dudes is probably willingly giving you money to help take care of their daughter, doing anything to take care of their daughter. It's not an issue. It's not a problem. Don't even ask what my daughter need. She got it. It's nothing. Shoes, clothes, school supplies, spending time with them. You want me to come get her? She can come stay with me. If you feel like you, and this was another thing I want to get into a little bit later, man, right? No doubt, no doubt. Listen, the link is in the chat, y'all. You hear me? I'm going to drop it again. Y'all sit up there and come up if y'all want to. Like I said, there's no pressure, you know, but it'll be decent, right? You know, it'll be very conducive to the conversation. It's, some of y'all will come up. Like I said, Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? This is why men absolutely cannot make decisions based off of how we feel. And this is why y'all don't run shit. This is why y'all not designed to be an authority of any type, especially over a man. Y'all are not designed to lead. Y'all not designed to guide. Y'all not designed to provide structure, order, and discipline. Y'all just don't have the ability to do it. And when y'all do it, it's going to be distorted. And we're going to get into this, why it's important for fathers to be involved in their son's life. But that's a show to have with the fellas, right? I see how to set up there and talk Brownie up, huh? Brownie, what's up, baby? You hear me? Let's get back to Ayanla. Because when Ayanla right, she right, man. But when she wrong, she's terribly wrong. She's horribly wrong. Like how most of y'all chicks is. When y'all think y'all right, let me count back up. When y'all think y'all right, y'all be terribly wrong. And let me tell you something, though, man. I'm going to tell you something like this, man. I don't give a damn how successful you are as a woman. I don't give a damn about your career, your education, none of that. None of that shit don't mean nothing to me, man. You hear me? Y'all cannot provide for your children, your daughter or your son, what their fathers do. And even if you raise your daughter up, it's going to be a distorted perception. It's going to be a distorted structure. It's going to be distorted leadership. It's going to be distorted guidance. And she's going to be deprived because she's supposed to learn that from her father. Your daughter is not supposed to learn structure, order, and discipline from you. She's supposed to learn how to nurture, how to be feminine, how to be submissive. She's supposed to learn how to respect men from the perspective of a woman from you. She ain't supposed to learn structure, order, and discipline from you. You're not designed equipped to even teach her that shit. Look at y'all's lives, most of y'all chicks. Debt out of control. You done hop from this mushroom tip to this bell head. You got the remnants and the residue of niggas' nuts past residing and abiding all up in you and wonder why you can't get with a nigga. I mean, you can disagree all you want, Brownie. Hit the link. You can disagree all you want. Y'all are not designed to provide structure, order, and discipline. And if you do, it's going to be a distorted version of it. Y'all won't even hold y'all selves accountable for the most part. How the hell you going to hold your kid accountable? Your daughter. Nobody's going to provide structure, order, and discipline for your daughter like her father. Right? Let's go.
What you're saying is so important for everybody who is looking to heal or to make a decision about how you will move forward with your own healing, is to be able to set boundaries for yourself. The difference between, what we're talking about, when you were a child, you didn't know how to set the boundaries. The difference between being a child and an adult is now you get to decide the terms of the relationship. You get to decide. And the relationship doesn't have to be what you had in your head, this idea about what a father should be, what a father and daughter should be. Because everybody gets so confused about what the idea in your head is, what the fantasy in your head is, versus what really is.
Now, let me just say this real quick. And this is the stuff I'll be talking about. Oprah needs to shut the fuck up. She needs to shut the fuck up. For real. Oprah's not qualified to speak on this. She's not a mother. She might be a daddyless daughter, right? So I guess to an extent she is qualified to speak on it from her personal experience. So I digress. Y'all. All right, let's go.
Now you're the one who's in the driver's seat that gets to determine when you see him, how you see him, how that shows itself, how often you see him. You get to decide.
You feel me, son, kids?
And are you trying to build a relationship with your father or recapture a relationship with your daddy?
Ooh, big.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big.
Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch what Ayanla just said? I'm gonna rewind. Did y'all catch what Ayanla just said?
Is what the fantasy in your head is versus what really is. And now you're the one who's in the driver's seat that gets to determine when you see him, how you see him, how that shows itself, how often you see him. You get to decide. And are you trying to build a relationship with your father or recapture a relationship with your daddy?
Are you trying to build a relationship with your father, or are you trying to recapture a relationship with your dad? You understand the difference? See, this is why it's important, especially if you're not with your daughter's father. This is why it's important for you as a mother to have your daughter's father, even though y'all not together, it is important. It is imperative that your daughter's father be involved in every aspect of her life. It is important that you have your daughter's father involved in every aspect of her life, regardless of how you may feel towards him. But see, a lot of y'all chicks would allow how you feel towards your daughter's father. Y'all would allow that to have heavy influence on interaction between your daughter and her father. Because I don't care what any of y'all chicks say, man. That is a very small percentage of us fathers, specifically black fathers. We are the most involved and want to be involved fathers. Flat the fuck out. I don't give a damn how anybody feel about it, right? All my brothers are thoroughly involved with their children's lives. All of them. Now, the guys that's fuck niggas out here that actually fuck on y'all and y'all allow them to get y'all pregnant and they like don't do nothing, that is such a minuscule small percentage of us, man, that it's almost not even worth even talking about, right? Most of us fathers want to be involved. We are involved and will be involved thoroughly, heavily if the environment is made to where we can do so. We don't want shit made easy for us. I had this conversation with my daughter's mom on numerous occasions. I don't need you to make anything easy for me. Ain't nothing ever been easy for me. I don't need no favors. I don't need a situation to be made easy for me. I just need the situation to be made accessible to me. You know, I don't ask for anything. All I require or all I ask or request is to be involved in the girl's life thoroughly, heavily. And when the situation is made to where that can't be made, that reflects on you as a mother. So when you become an adult, what basically Ayala is saying is, don't try to recapture your daddy from your childhood. Focus on developing a relationship with him now. Because often the man who your mama painted the picture of as your dad to you is often the complete opposite of who your dad actually is. And a lot of y'all chicks find this out when y'all become adults. When you do decide to interact with your father, you see that, hold on, my dad is a pretty decent guy. He's nothing like how the picture my mom painted to me. And a lot of y'all, I'm telling you, your daughters are watching y'all. They see everything y'all do. They see everything y'all don't do. So as a mother who isn't with your daughter's father, it would behoove you. It would be in your daughter's best interest for you to put the way you feel towards your daughter's father to the side, no matter what happened. It could be it don't matter if the reason why y'all broke up was his fucking fault, right? Which is not true, because the reason why y'all broke up is plays on both sides. It ain't no your fault, it's both of our fault. The only difference is us men, we tend to take accountability for things more than y'all do, right? One of my biggest regrets is not marrying Jen's mom, not because I want to be with Jen's mom now, because my daughter would have been raised under proper structure and order. And even if things didn't work out, at least nigga would have been. But what I'm saying is, I still like to think in my mind, I'm not a cynicist. I don't think the negative out of all situations, right? But that's one of my number one regrets, right? On top of other reasons too. But you know, a lot of y'all chicks, y'all sit up here and vicariously try to live through your daughters, not realizing that you are destroying her. And your daughter is going to grow to fucking resent you. Telling you right now, ladies, it would be in your best interest to have your daughter's father thoroughly, heavily involved in every aspect of her life, especially when she's becoming a young lady, a young woman, and her titties is growing, her booty and her legs is growing, her little coochie bleeding now, and now she all up in her feelings. It is important for her father to be there. what some kids say, men versus boys that have gone through puberty appearing to be men. At the end of the day, we select our child's father because we decide who we exactly, son kiss. So, right? So you pick the nigga. So that's a big reflection on you, right? And right, more often than not, regardless of how you may feel about that guy, 9 times out of 10, he's a decent guy. He's not the same guy that he was when he was with you when y'all was together. You understand what I'm saying? He ain't the same guy he was when y'all was together, right? Most of us want to be involved. Most of us will go above and beyond to be involved. Big difference. Huge difference. Huge difference, right? It is imperative that you create the situation as a mother to a daughter that's not with your daughter's father. It is important that you have that man involved in every aspect of her upbringing. Whenever she has a question concerning men, boys, send it to her dad. You are not qualified to teach your daughter about men. Just no more than I'm qualified to teach my daughter about women. Now, I could teach my daughter what I expect from a woman, what I expect from her as being a young lady, but I can't teach her how to be a woman. I wouldn't even try. I'm a man. I can't teach my daughter how to be no woman. I could teach her what I expect from her as being a woman, right? But that's not teaching her how to be a woman. Just like you cannot teach your son how to be a man. So when it comes to matters of men, you being a woman who did not require your daughter's father to marry you, you need to shut the fuck up when it comes to things about men. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. You have no clue of what you are talking about. Shut up, send her to her dad. Because you want to know something? One thing for sure, 2 things for certain. No matter how the fuck you may feel about us as being our daughter's mother, you are not equipped to teach her about men. You need to shut the fuck up. Unless you are married, happily married to another man, and y'all is in a healthy relationship, and she's seeing that, shut the fuck up when it comes to things about men to your daughter. Send your daughter to her dad so she can learn the things of men from a man. And if your daughter's dad ain't no man, that's just even more reflection upon your horrible decision making. It be tripping me out how a chick could be so successful in her career, in her professional life, and be a horrible mother, terrible mother, while thinking she's a good mother. Horrible, terrible. That shit is crazy to me, man. Right? Y'all sit up there and hit that link, man. Come on in here, man. Unless y'all just don't want y'all just want to hear me chop it up, that's cool too. You know. Let's go.
Ooh, big.
Yeah.
Big.
Well, people who once were daddies, right, are now men. They're just men. They're sometimes weak men, sometimes scared men, sometimes hurt men. But we saw them as daddy. Yeah. They had all this power to it. Yeah. And we imputed all of this stuff on this person. Sometimes men change.
That's right.
This ability to just have enough, I think, self-confidence and self-worth to say, I'm going to relook at this.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Yeah, I'm going to relook at this and possibly give it a second chance.
Yeah.
Something I think people should consider.
Yeah, but isn't it also meeting the person where they are and where you are? Guys, I think so often when you're trying to reconcile or thinking about reconciling, you're thinking about who you were as that kid and trying to recapture a relationship with the daddy that basically doesn't exist because daddy gone. And You have to start from where you are now.
And I think that's one of the challenges. The whole concept of daddy, its core, is putting you grown women in a position as children.
But that's the piece of them that runs the relationship until they grow up into the woman.
Because
until they do.
Because what's happening is, in your search for a father, you have to accept that you're in a childlike position. It's no longer the same. Things are very different. And so if you're prepared to accept the truth for what it is, and you truly do wish to move into the best place, then you set standards and you put boundaries and you draw a line around your person. And you say, this is what I can accept in my space, whether it's the space of bringing an intimate partner in, or it's bringing a father or family member in. Once you make the decision on the standards, now you have to abide by them.
Yeah, but the real problem is that so many people, we were talking earlier about, you can articulate the standard and then lower the standard because they don't want to be alone. That's right. Okay. Lower the standard because you don't.
I don't wanna be without you, be without you. I don't wanna stay without you, stay without you. I don't wanna go without you, go without you. I don't wanna be alone. Y'all not designed to be alone, right? Understand this. I know a lot of y'all don't like this paradigm, but it's true, right? Y'all were not designed to be alone. Y'all cannot survive on y'all's own. And if y'all do, it's going to be a deficit. There's going to be something missing, right? Y'all are not designed to be on y'all's own. See, men, we can live on our own. It's not good that we do that for a long period, extended amount of time, right? But we can actually survive on our own, right? We don't need women to survive, right? Now, I wouldn't want to imagine surviving without a woman, but I understand in order for me to get to where I need to be as a man for a period of time, I need to focus on me as a man, and, I can survive without women. You hear me? I did it for a nice amount of time when I was in the joint, right? And that's not because I was in the joint, because when I was in the joint, I'm gonna just say that the bitches was going. You hear me? And when I say that, I'm talking about the female staff in the prison. Oh, they was going. You hear me? They were going. You feel me? There's some very charismatic and magnetic brothers up in that who's gal. You understand me? And I'm one of them. You hear me? My brother Uncle Diggity know what I'm talking about, man. If you're a charismatic, magnetic brother, you're gonna be that whether you're in the who's gal out here on these streets. You did tap in.
But you're not with anyone if your standard has been jeopardized. You are alone. In fact, you're worse than alone. You have a liability. You done picked up a dependent.
Right. Right. Hallelujah on that.
Talk to him.
Hallelujah on that.
That's a fact. Let's go.
When it comes to single parent homes where the father is the single parent, the kids tend to turn out better than when the mother is single parent.
Do you know why that is? It's after the age of like women raise better kids up to the age of like 7, where men raise better kids after, and it's because men are more consistent, where women are more emotional. So it's like confusing for a kid, like what's right, what's wrong. My mom's on her period once a month, and like today, like this is really wrong, but last week it was kind of wrong, And the other thing is that men are better with money financially. So no, I mean
majority.
The majority, like women make 70 to 80% of consumer buying decisions. We also spend more, even though we make less.
Harsh truth, harsh reality.
When you grow up in the hood, we can all be gangsters. Yeah. I've watched niggas do nigga shit my whole life. When you grow up in the
Right. Right.
Stop playing with that. So what do you want to do? What you want to do? You say nothing. Do it. Be mad. Be mad. Go ahead. Be mad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Be mad. Ricky, I don't know what your problem is. I want you to
Sons raised by their mothers.
What you want to do? You say nothing. Do it. Be mad. Be mad. Go ahead. Be mad. Go ahead. Go ahead. Be mad. Ricky,
I don't know what you about with. You wanna make it better? Yeah, bring another one. You wanna do that? I don't know.
Sons raised by just their mothers. Man, y'all are terrible at raising children by yourselves for the most part, man. I mean, it is what it is, man.
Guy randomly showed up at his ex-girlfriend's parents' house. He wanted to see his ex-girlfriend.
Right? Lost and turned out. Y'all are terrible at raising children on y'all's own for the most part. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about that. It's true. Most of them niggas sitting up in that joint right now, they dads wasn't involved. And they dads wasn't involved not because they dads was pieces of shit. It's because y'all raggedy asses, didn't allow their dad to be involved. Right? Flat out.
Of their daughters, for good or bad. The first and most important thing a father can do for his daughter is to simply show up. That means spending time with your daughter, paying active attention to her, talking with her, involving her in your activities, listening to her, playing with her, discussing things and showing her non-threatening attention. She needs to see you being a loving husband to her mother. When she later starts to...
Did y'all hear what he just said? Your daughter needs to see you being a loving wife to her father, a loving mother to her father. See, this is why I say one of my biggest regrets is not marrying Jen's mom. It's one of my biggest regrets, right? One of my biggest regrets, right? See, a lot of y'all chicks got kids by these guys, and then y'all just be having another nigga around. And you done went from possibly the tumultuous, dysfunctional relationship with your daughter's father, and now you done got into another one with another nigga. Out of spite for your daughter's father. And y'all know how y'all chicks be, man. Y'all know how y'all be. Some of y'all, not all of y'all, most of y'all, for sure, most of y'all, right? The overwhelming mass majority of y'all. Now, of course, we got to get all aspects and angles of this. Now, this is a nigga who is totally unqualified to be speaking on this shit. Simply because he's a fuck nigga. Well, let's hear his perspective, though.
We'll talk about real dads today. Not fathers, but I want to talk about dads. Anybody can be a father. Take a real man to be a daddy. See, Father's Day changes as you get older. Sometimes being a father, just like being a mother.
Computer will be back tomorrow, y'all.
You put your all in all into your kids, you don't know what you mean to them. And then, as you get older, when you're a kid, you don't necessarily understand or even appreciate what your dad is trying to do for you. But it's only when you get older.
That's a fact. I tell Jen all the time, right? And this is where a lot of y'all mothers fuck up at. Because like I say, most of y'all mothers, y'all have trauma from y'all's childhood that y'all haven't even begun to address, right? And y'all inadvertently, sometimes intentionally, y'all impose this upon y'all's daughters, right? And you understand what I'm saying? Hold on, let me run this back real quick.
You step back, you're older, when you're a kid, you don't necessarily understand or even appreciate what your dad is trying to do.
Y'all don't appreciate what your dad is trying to do for you. I tell Jen all the time, right? And like I said, this is where y'all mothers fail because y'all be trying to be y'all's daughter's friends. Y'all cater and cajo to their emotions versus nurturing them, right? and y'all are natural nurturers, but due to the fact that you got to do this shit, or should I say you've chosen to take on this role as if you're just super mom and you can do everything by yourself, you can't, right? This reflects onto your daughter, right? And then when I come through, and I'm going to use myself, when I talk to Jen, right, I'll let Jen know, Jen, I'm not your friend. Listen, I tell Jen's mom this all the time. Girl, go get some help. Go talk to somebody. Right? See, I've been through therapy. Thorough, intense therapy. I'm not saying I'm healed, because you're never just healed. It's always a perpetual state of healing. Right? So I don't need no therapy. I've been through therapy. I, as a man, know what I need to do. I know where I'm failing at. I know where I'm lacking at. I know where I need to improve at. Not saying I can't take constructive criticism. Not saying that I'm above reproach or beyond being checked or chastised or corrected. No. Right? Because when the shoe fit, I will wear it. Let's not get this twisted, though, right? But for the most part, yeah, men, I tell my brothers all the time, get rich or die trying, man, or cry trying. Go get some therapy, bruh. Go talk to somebody, man. I tell my niggas that all the time. I tell them that. And I know that because I've been through therapy. Intense, thorough therapy, right? This is why I can say when you go through therapy, it's not even a situation to where you're healed. You just learn the tools how to be in a perpetual state of healing, right? And like I say, when I talk to Jen, I tell Jen, like, because what I've discovered is Jen's mom tries to be Jen's friend. She caters and cajoles to Jen's emotions versus nurturing them. Right? Hold on real quick, y'all. Let me close this damn window because it's starting to rain out here. Get up here. You know what I'm talking about? So when I talk to Jen, I tell Jen off top, I'm not your friend, Jen. You hear me? I'm not your friend. I'm not here to cater or cajole to your feelings. Now, and I ask Jen this all the time, man. What give her say? Man, y'all need to hit that link, man. Come on up. I understand if y'all scared to come up, man. I feel like if you are a co-parent should definitely go and get some counseling, because this communication is what it's come down to. People don't know how to communicate, how to listen, and how to empathize. Everyone wants things out of their way, on my way, and that's what makes things difficult. I totally agree with that. Right? But when I have conversations with Jen is my daughter. If y'all think why I keep saying Jen, Genesis, that's her name. I call her Jen. Jen, I tell her, because I notice how her mom parents her, right? And I'm like, Jen, I'm your father. I'm not your friend. I'm not here to cater and cajole and coddle you, right? I'm here to discipline you, provide structure, order for you, right? I'm here to be an example of what a man is, and more specifically, what a man is not, right? And I'll tell my daughter this. She's 14, so this is the conversation I have with her. And due to the picture that her mother has painted, she feels some type of way. And like Steve said, y'all don't be realizing as a young girl the relationship between you and your pops, and why your pops be on you like that, right? And y'all don't understand why we be the way we be when you a little girl until you grow up and become a woman. I say this to Jen all the time because I know her mother paints pictures, right? I say, Jen, regardless of how you feel, Jen, do you think I say and do the things I do because I don't like you? Do you think I say and do the things I do because I don't love you? I have your best interests at heart and in mind. My job is to protect you, even when you don't realize that's what I'm doing, even when you don't think it's something good, or even when you don't like it. She said, I've seen that. My ex is a wonderful dad, but his ex-wife is who you're talking about. She is the worst. It is not that I'm scared to come on. I'm just at work, so I can't really stay and talk until I get off. I mean, it's all good. I ain't tripping. It's more than just you in there, but it's all good. Like I said, I ain't tripping. I be wanting to get people's opinions and perspective, man. Right? That's all. But if I got it. I don't need anybody to come up. I want y'all to, because I want to hear y'all's opinion, right? But it's all good. I like I said, I fall back. So I make sure when I talk to my daughter, I don't discuss adult things with her, issues with her between me and her mom. It's none of her fucking business. I would never ever do that. I know you scared, son, Kiss. Let me tell y'all something when it comes to me. This is why I got hella respect for Brownie, right? Because when it comes, see, listen here, I'm a man. You hear me? One thing as a woman, if you consider yourself to be such, one thing you ain't gonna do is you're not gonna overtalk me. You're not gonna come up here talking any type of bullshit. You're gonna conduct yourself like a goddamn woman. You're gonna know your role, and you're gonna speak when spoken to, and you ain't gonna overtalk or do none of that bullshit these goofy bras be doing with these fuck niggas over here. You dealing with a real live one right here. You're gonna conduct yourself as such. I'm gonna conduct myself like a man. You better conduct yourself like a woman. So, often people get intimidated by me, by my deep voice and all of that. You feel me? But, you feel me? Don't be scared, son, Kiss. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to overtalk you. I'm not going to belittle you or any of that. But when you say something contrary, I'm going to interject and I'm going to chastise and correct. Go ahead, speak in peace, Bobby.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Can't complain. Can't complain at all. Salute
Right.
everybody. What were you saying right before I came up? 'Cause
I
was
was
gonna touch
saying
on that.
okay, I was saying that when I have discussions with my daughter, Jen, she's 14, she'll be 15 in March, right?
Mhm.
What I'll be saying to her when I have discussions with her is that I'm your father, Jen. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to cater, cajo, coddle you. Because that's a disservice to you as me being your father. I'm here to provide you with structure, order, and discipline. You're going to know right from wrong dealing with me. I'm going to be very strict. I'm going to be very precise and to the point. Not saying I'm going to be ice cold and mean, because I'm not, but I'm a man. I'm not a woman. I'm not going to sit. No, I'm going to, because the world ain't going to be nice to you. The world ain't going to cater or cajo your ass. You hear me? And I do this to my daughter because I want her to understand that the reason why I be on what I be on to her is because I love you and you're my daughter. It's my job to protect you. And when I realize you are involved in something that's going to be detriment to your protection, it's my job to step in and protect you, even though you might not like it. Because the truth of the matter is, son, kids, I know better than you. I know what's best for you. You don't. More often than not, a lot of y'all chicks, not saying you specifically, I'm speaking in general, most chicks don't know what's best for their children, specifically their daughters. They don't know what's best for them. Because if they did, they would have their fathers involved, thoroughly, heavy, every step of the way. I'll pass it to you.
I agree. Salute to you, because that's appreciated and so necessary to make sure that your daughter understands that there is a line and it's not blurred. That you're not her friend, you are her father. And in order to be that, there's going to be days that are good, bad. You're going to hear stuff that you don't want to hear, that you don't like, that's going to, upset her, all that kind of stuff. But that comes with it, and it needs to come with it because it's going to happen out there anyway. So you got to give her the tools. You can't build a house without a toolbox. So
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So yeah, I understand. and you know what I mean, having realized like your position, and then seeing like how my dad was in and out, having that, you know, just having that in itself is like it turns the whole trajectory. Like it's a whole different ball game.
Right.
As far as
Now,
you know, respect and what to think and what to look for in a man, what not to look for, like all these different aspects.
right.
But go ahead. What were you?
Right. Now, I just want to address what Get Rich or Cry Trying is saying. She said, so is your stance that most fathers have it together and most mothers do not? Exactly, yes. Not even my personal feeling. Facts. Observable reality. Right? And if you dealing with a dude who ain't got it together, that's a reflection on you. Right? Most men who are fathers have their shit moderately together. Most of us. Right? Most of us. And I know that's kind of difficult to accept because due to the indoctrination in media and all of that, we've been told that most fathers, specifically black fathers, ain't shit, bum ass niggas living in, right? When that's absolutely not true. More often than not, it would probably be in the child's best interest to be with their father, especially if y'all not together, right? Yeah, so yeah, that's definitely my stance. And that's not my stance because I just think that. It's my stance because not only do I just think that, it's the actual facts. Right. She said, "What is this based off of? Your conversations with these guys, or like what is the? It's based off of my conversations with multiple men that I know personally and that I talk to and I counsel and I chop it up with, do business with, who are in the situation, right? And basically off of my personal experience just in life. This whole dichotomy between chicks and their baby dads. I know a lot of baby mamas and a lot of baby dads, unfortunately. I'm not proud to say that. And what I will say is that when it comes to women and men, right, most men have their shit together way more than their baby mamas do. That's what I come to notice, right? And the chicks that got their stuff together more than their baby dad is, them is the niggas who is fuck niggas, right?
I can see
I
what
mean,
you're
y'all
saying.
pretty sure if you did go search it for yourself, Get Rich or Cry Trying, you could. But being a guy who's from Columbus, Ohio, and grew up in this environment, I don't need no stats to show me that. I'm going off of what I've seen in my life, my 41 years on Earth. I'm going by what I've seen, what I've actually experienced. A lot of chicks who are single moms, they're on Section 8. They're on welfare. This is the truth that we have to admit. We don't need no stats. We don't need no numbers to show that. Go to any hood, any projects, any neighborhood where you might be from. These ain't projects filled with single fathers raising their children. They're filled with single mothers raising the children. So your observable reality proves to you what I'm saying to be true if you have the eyes to see. Right? Now, most chicks might be in a fight better off financially than their child's father due to certain circumstances. But given the overwhelmingly mass majority of especially black mothers who's on wealth, that's something that could be proven to not be so. How many Agra from the hood? What Agra? Who's Agra? How many from the hood? So I understand your point of view. I mean, most of us is from the hood, man. Most of us grew up in public housing. Most of us grew up on welfare. Most of us grew up being raised by our mamas, right? Am I wrong, son, kiss? I mean, we need to see some stats for this to be known to be true.
I mean, we can. I mean, it definitely varies from, you know, where you are, you know, on the map. But so that's a factor. But really, at the end of the day, when you say that, you know, men have it more together than the women, I could see, you know, where you're coming from or the angle in that, because it's like just because the state and, you know, the county has provided her with a means to, you know, keep the household running, having a household in general, doesn't mean
Right.
that she's together. It means they put her in a space where she can hopefully be raising this child. But her
Right.
mental might be toe up. Her emotion, she might be, like you said, she might have trauma. She might be
Exactly.
toxic. So that's not having it together.
Right.
It's because you have, okay, you have the basics. So I can see what you're saying because, like you said, there's a certain dynamic, like the fuck nigga versus, saying the actual man, and which women
Right.
have which one. So.
So, and like, this is what I'm saying, ladies, man. Don't get this twisted, man. Right? I'm saying, in some kids, that's beautiful the way you put it. Right? Just because you got a job, just because you're paying for the household, that doesn't mean you got it together. Because if you are raising children on your own as a woman, that means you at work. That means the children are what? Unsupervised. You want to know how I know this? Because I was raised by my mama. Unsupervised. How the hell else? And this is the part on my pops too, right? Every situation is different, but for the most part, this is why it's important for a father to be involved, right? Now, had my father not got on drugs and wasn't able to be there, right? Like some of us tend to do, that's a different situation. But more often than not, that's not the case. More often than not, guys want to be involved. They try to be involved. So what I'm saying is, you know what I mean? When it comes to the household, like having it together, like most of y'all chicks, when y'all raising kids by yourself and y'all at work, so that leaves your children, especially your sons or daughters, to be unsupervised. That comes from little boys coming over to the crib. You want to know how I know? Because I was a young boy, 15, going over to the girl's house when their mom was at work. Huh? So don't sit up here and tell me, not saying that any of y'all say this, I'm speaking in retrospect and in general conversations I had with other chicks outside of this platform. Y'all don't, you can't tell me that. I was a 15-year-old little boy once going over to the little girl's crib while their mama was at work. That's how I know. See, I don't need no numbers. I don't need no stats to tell you that. I can give you my personal experience from my life.
Yeah.
You hear me? See, and I also done dealt with a chick whose father was in her life, right? And that nigga, and plenty of dudes done told me, what you over here to see my daughter for? I can remember a couple of dudes that told me to take my ass home. What you doing coming over here? She think, go home, boy. And as a young boy, I think about it, I'm like, man, but as a man now with a daughter, I get it, right? So let me ask you something, because you got children, child or children?
I have a son.
You got a son? Are you with his father?
No, we're separated now.
So y'all was married, but y'all got separated?
Well, we weren't married, but yeah, basically, we were.
No, some kids, no. Were you married or not?
No.
Okay, so y'all was never married, right? Okay, that's my whole point, right? Okay, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, just get that out the way, right? Now that we're separated, we can't stand one another.
Let's go.
She said, I don't have kids. Oh, you ain't got no kids. Get Richard Doctron. Get Richard Doctron. How old are you? Right? She said, yeah, a lot of guys are garbage, so if that helps keep them away, you'll never get that argument from me. Yeah, I'm just saying, I know this because I'm a guy. I know what niggas be on, man. I know the mind of a 15-year-old. What the fuck your little 15-year-old hungry ass want with my daughter? Get the fuck up out of here. Right? Now, the rare occasion where you meet a young brother who's raised by his father, and he's a decent young man, he may actually like your daughter and have good intentions. But I'm just telling you, at the age of 15, more often than not, we just want some pussy, man. I'm just be honest with you. So ain't no way in hell I'm ever going to allow my daughter to have a fucking boyfriend. Get the fuck out of here. That's not going to happen. It wouldn't happen on my watch, but with your mama, it'll probably happen on y'all's watch, though. More than likely, it probably will. So I'm a bit, you know. So let me ask you this as being a mother to a son, right? You know what I'm saying? Do you create the environment for your your son's father to have full interaction and influence in his life?
Absolutely.
Is he fully involved in his life?
No.
Okay. Now we ain't gonna get into that because we're talking about daughters tonight, though. But are you a daddyless daughter?
The connection with my dad was not healthy. It wasn't. It didn't. The connection didn't connect.
Okay, so let
It
me
was
ask the question again, Sun Kiss, man. Are you a daddyless daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. Simple. Let me tell y'all some ladies that will really help y'all out when talking to men. Now, mind you, I said men, right? We're very direct, right? I want y'all to understand, because and I'm not insulting your intelligence, Sun Kiss. I'm speaking of most chicks. I'm speaking to the majority. I'm speaking specifically to Sun Kiss. I'm speaking to all y'all. It will behoove y'all, right, to understand this when dealing with men. We are very direct. I want y'all to know the difference between an open-ended question and a closed-ended question, right? We're very direct. When I ask you a question, the response, no, yes, right? Very simple. That's a closed-ended question that could only result in a yes or no response. I notice a lot of y'all chicks tend to go on tangents and shit, right? Versus actually answer the question that was asked. You know, and then we get you a lot further with men, keyword men, if y'all take that into consideration and think about that. That's all I'm saying. Just some game for y'all, that's all. So, Sun Kiss, man, being a daddyless daughter, right? Did your mother, if you feel at liberty to speak on this, did your mother create the situation for you to where you didn't have easy access to your father? Did she paint a picture of your father to you? Or did she speak about your father in a high light and actually encouraged a relationship with your father? Matter of fact, made you go spend with your father when you probably didn't want to.
Didn't make me because of the nature or the way that life was being lived by my father at that time. It was best for me to not, I had to back up or mom pulled me away. But as far as him being, having full access with no issues, no problems, no drama, absolutely.
Right.
He just didn't take advantage of it.
And I appreciate your honesty. You see, a lot of us, and this is what I said earlier, ladies, unless your daughter's father is living a life that's not conducive to a healthy environment for your daughter, nay, he's in the streets, he's selling drugs, he's a robber, he's a jacker, he do crazy shit, then no, absolutely not, right? But Sun Kiss case is not the norm. Most of us are the exact opposite of that. Most of us go to work. Most of us are responsible. Most of us ain't in the streets. Most of us not living a tumultuous lifestyle, right? So Sun Kiss situation is a niche situation. It's not the norm. It's not the norm at all. If that's the case, we would have a lot more black men in prison. You hear me?
Yeah.
So let me ask you another question, Sun Kiss. When it comes to your father, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me back it up. When it comes to your mother, did your mother made you feel like you had to protect her when you were a child, considering the relationship between her and your father?
No.
She didn't have adult conversations with you concerning your father. She didn't paint pictures of your father. She didn't let you listen in on the loudspeaker while your dad was having a heated conversation with her and see how your dad talked to me.
No.
And I respect your mother for that, right?
Yeah.
She allowed you to have full access to your father to have full access to you, so you as a young lady can get your own perception of who your father is.
Let's go.
And that's how y'all ladies need to do. You should never create a situation where your daughter feels like she has to protect you. You should never create a situation where you are painting a negative picture, perception, even if he may be living a negative life. It ain't your job or your responsibility to paint that picture for your daughter. You allow your daughter to have full access to her father and the same for him. And then if he's a fuck nigga who chooses to make his lifestyle more important than the relationship with his daughter, your daughter's going to see that. And that way you're allowing her to get a perception of her father. You're not painting one for her.
Right.
See, more often than not, that's just not how it goes.
Right. It's the other way around.
It's
And
definitely the other way around. Go ahead, Sunkess. Go ahead. My bad.
no, you're okay. You're okay. It's like I've had friends and I've been around. I've heard conversations where like the kids, like we used to have to go outside and play or go over here. Like we weren't in grown folks' business, so we didn't hear like those kinds of conversations or the parents at least. Okay. So some mothers, yes, they do too much and they are bashing this man that they come from. So it's like it creates this weird type of dynamic where it's like, okay, fuck you for doing my mom like that, and then look how you get at me, and like it's too much for a girl or a young girl to have to worry about and deal with. Like it's not fair.
Right.
So, yeah.
And just like Steve was saying with his cornball lame ass, right? You feel me? And when you and y'all girls who actually was allowed or actually have a relationship with your father and you become a woman, right? You realize, like I be telling y'all ladies, man, like I tell Jen's mom, your daughter sees everything you do. More importantly, she sees the things you don't do, right? And when they grow up and actually interact with their father, and like Steve said, when y'all realize when y'all grow up, like, damn, all that stuff my dad was on, like, I get it now. Mm-hmm. I thought he was being mean. I thought he was being strict. I thought he was being a dickhead. But now that I'm a grown woman, I see why my dad was on me like that. Now look at my situation now. See, when a father is thoroughly involved, and when I say thoroughly involved, I mean you're not, as a mother, in any way hindering his father. See, a lot of things happen when it's not a good co-parenting situation, is that, a lot of these chicks tend to, like I say, cater and cajole and coddle their daughters and paint pictures to their daughters so their daughters can like be on their side. And that's a point that you see, or a situation to where you haven't gone through the process of healing. You ain't addressed none of that trauma from your childhood as a woman and as a mother. So you project that onto your daughter. You involve your daughter in adult situations. Like I say, like dealing with, I'm gonna use myself as an example, right? I noticed some things going on with my daughter. Me being a father and being a man who don't bite his tongue, do I seem like the type of guy who's going to bite his tongue when he recognizes something, a pattern of behavior? No, I'm going to address that shit, right? And when I bring the concerns to your awareness, right, I'm not about to be nice about that shit when I notice a pattern. I'm going to be nice the first 1 or 2 times, but when I know it's repetitive, now it's going to, hold on, what the fuck is going on, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you as a mother who hasn't addressed any type of situations, healing or nothing, you sit up there and while I'm sitting here talking to you on the phone, and because now it hasn't got to the point to where I'm checking and chastising your ass now. And I want y'all ladies to understand something. Yes, just because I'm not with you, yes, I'm going to check and chastise and correct your ass when I see you slipping, right? When I see you fucking around and I know you got the potential to do better as a mother, I don't know what the fuck you got going on in your personal life, but I know I'm noticing something. I'm going to speak on that shit, because whatever nigga you fucking with, he ain't checking your ass, right? I'm going to check that ass. Listen, I noticed this, man. What's going on? You hear me? And then the situation be on the speakerphone over there, like, see how your dad talked to me? That is some, I don't even like using this word, so I'm not going to use it. That is very dysfunctional. That is very dysfunctional. Never once have I ever put the speakerphone on while I'm sitting here talking to this girl mom and let her hear that conversation. Because if I let her hear her mom be talking to me, what would that do? That would possibly potentially give her a perception distorted of who her mom is. But see, I don't have to do that because what? Y'all live with y'all's moms. Y'all see y'all mom. Y'all know how y'all moms be. And just like Steve said, when y'all grow up, y'all realize, like, damn, that's why I be telling y'all girls, man, not just my daughter's mom, but chicks who I talk to, y'all daughters is watching y'all, man. They are watching y'all very thoroughly, meticulously. And due to the fact that most of y'all have made it a situation to where your daughter feel like she got to protect you, which means you failed. Listen, y'all, ladies, if you have made your daughter feel that she has to protect you, you failed. You have failed as a mother. I'm letting you know that you failed. A daughter should never be made to feel like she has to protect you. It's to be the other way around. But see, and this is why it's important for fathers to be involved. Y'all are not designed to protect. Not saying you can't protect, saying you're not designed to. That's my job. My job is to protect my daughter. Your job is to nurture her. Understand the difference between nurturing and protecting. But in the essence, in retrospect, nurturing is protecting. Understand what I'm saying, right? So son kiss, you know what I'm saying? You being a daddyless daughter, right? Your mother created the situation where she allowed you to get your own perception of your father, correct?
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the norm. I just want you to know that if you didn't, right? That is not the
Yeah,
norm.
I realize.
That is not the norm, right? So, you know, with that being said, ladies, it will behoove y'all, right? Be in your best interest to whenever your daughter has, because listen, now think about what I'm saying. If you are a single mother, right, and you're not in a healthy relationship with a man that's not her father, you should absolutely not give her any advice concerning men. She got questions about boys. I'm not saying you don't tell her nothing. I'm saying when she has concerns about guys, you should send her to her father. Now, if her father is such a fuck nigga to where you can't do that, that's a even more in-depth of a reflection on you. This is why it's important for fathers to be involved. We ain't going to have that shit. Ain't no little boy going to be coming over to my house to talk to my daughter. Y'all will allow that shit. Ain't no little boy spending the fucking night over. What? That's not going to happen.
At all.
At all. But it's more likely to happen with y'all. You want to know how I know? Because I done spent the night over a girl's house and her mom let me. Numerous times. And I'm pretty sure a lot of my brothers tapping in can tell you similar stories. This is why it's important for daughters to have their fathers in their lives. We're going to protect our daughters. We're going to put our daughters up on game about these corny ass fuck niggas that's out here. Right? We're going to teach our daughters what it's like to be a lady from a man's perspective. Pull your skirt down. Take that off. Why you got that in your hair? Take that makeup off. Baby girl, you're losing, you're getting big. Get your ass in that gym. Don't eat that. I know that shit sounds crazy and strict, and it's supposed to be, right? Because we're fathers, we're men. We don't want you to grow up to be a whore, right? Mothers, do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to become a whore, lest the world falls to wickedness and whoredom. And what we got now? Whores. The overwhelmingly mass majority of females, specifically black females, are whores. I say that with confidence. I don't say that to be mean and nasty. I'm saying it because it's fucking true, right? And if you're honest and if you're a woman, you're going to sit up there and you're going to be, you wouldn't disagree with that. So we got my baby son kids in the building. You feel me? I'm glad that you
That's
came through.
good.
You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Nope.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and trust that avatar right there because I'm big on camming up. You hear me? I
Right.
don't I don't take
I'll
I
see you
don't take
next
you
time.
all the way serious until I see you cam up, and that let me know you got skin in this motherfucker, man. All
Got
right,
you.
but
Got you.
I respect it though. I don't get it twisted. I understand people might have certain jobs, certain career fields, or whatever. But like I tell any dude, I'm gonna tell y'all chicks too. If you gonna come on this internet talking heavy, you gotta count the fuck up. Outside of that, and this ain't gotta mean nothing to you, because you know my opinion ain't gotta have no dominion over your decision. You hear me? But a dude like me, I'm never gonna take you too serious for too long. You feel me? Show me you got some skin in this motherfucker, man. Show me you willing to put some things at risk. I got a job, I work. You hear me? I'm willing to put all that on the line to help out where it could be possibly needed. So, son, kids, man, let me ask you something, man. Being a daddyless daughter, man. Amongst your friends that have daughters, right? Would you say that most of them create the situation to where the father is involved, or would you say that most of them create the situation to where they're not involved and they paint pictures and perceptions to their daughters of their fathers?
Well, in the circle of my friends, the majority of them have boys. However, there are a few that have girls, and it's kind of half and
Interesting.
half. Yeah, it's kind of half and half, but it's more leaning towards the chaos and conflict, like the over emotional
Right,
mom. You know what I mean? That's
right,
doing, I mean, we have emotions, but it's like you can remove them in certain situations, and it's necessary in a lot of them. So the narratives are spin, or if it is something that is wrong, or there's this a shortcoming of the father, kid doesn't need to know that coming not from her, not from the mother. So yeah, it's a lot of it's toxic to me at the end of the day, but it's a lot of females, I would agree, that really make it kind of messy.
right, right. And I want y'all to, I want to be clear here, y'all, right? Not proselytizing, man. I'm not moral finger wagging because I ain't perfect. I got a lot of things I need to work on. I'm in a rebuilding, transitioning, rebuilding stage in my life right now. I don't got everything together. But see, as a man, when I realized I let myself get into a situation that caused me to not operate at my fullest potential, see, men, we gonna fall back. You hear me? We gonna fall back and get our shit right. We ain't about to put no excuses on nobody. And we damn sure ain't about to motherfucking be sad and depressed. We're gonna just go out here and make it happen. You feel me? So with that being said, you know what I mean? You know, a lot of us guys who have daughters by chicks who make it difficult for us. Like I say, man, and I know y'all heard me in the beginning, I don't want nothing to be made easy for me. I ain't had it easy my whole life, and I don't want shit easy because I've discovered that things that come easy ain't worth having, right? But with that being said, right, you shouldn't make it difficult. What I notice more often than not is that a lot of chicks tend to impose onto their daughters their perception of their daughter's father based off of the relationship they had, what happened and what didn't happen, right? And that's terrible. That is totally counterproductive. And this is why y'all daughters grow up resenting y'all when they become adults. So they start interacting with their fathers and they start realizing, like, well, damn, man, my dad was just protecting me my whole life. Now that I done sit up here and possibly potentially became a single mother like my mom, I ain't requiring no nigga to marry me. I'm seeking security in a guy who is nothing like my pops. And when I actually get to know my pops as a grown woman, I realize, like, damn, man, my dad was actually helping me for real. He actually really was trying to really steer me in the right direction. And then with that comes the resentment towards y'all mama. You want to know how I know this? Because I've experienced this. You know how many girls I done sit up here and talk to, and they got very tumultuous relationships with their mama. Because y'all lie. Y'all not good at telling the truth, keeping it real. Not all of y'all, but most of y'all. Some kids doesn't give me the energy and vibes of a chick who's a liar, but that don't mean she ain't.
Right.
All right? That don't mean she ain't. And like I be sitting here telling these girls, some kids, I know y'all, man. Let's just go ahead and get super funky with it. I know y'all. Even if I never met you, I know you. I know how y'all think. I know how y'all operate. I know how y'all move. And I'm talking about specifically black women. I know y'all very well. Better than y'all know yourself. See, when I say that, son, kids, a lot of chicks be getting in their feelings and feel some type of way. And they think when I say I know, I don't mean the every anal aspect of your current life. I don't want to know that. I don't care to. That ain't none of my business. When I say I know y'all, I know how y'all think. Know how y'all operate.
Right.
All of y'all. I don't give a damn where you from. I done mess with black big broads from Columbus, Ohio, all the way to California, all the way to New York, down south, up top, and across sea. Y'all are basically the same here, for the most part. Very predictable, very emotional. Most of y'all raised by y'all mama, right? So when I say I know y'all, oh, I know y'all very well. And I know what I'm talking about. Do I give y'all the perception of a guy who speaks on shit that I don't know what I'm talking about? Now, you don't have to answer that question. You can sit up here and think that, though. But I'm telling y'all, I don't speak on shit I don't know about. If I don't know about something, I won't talk. I won't talk about it. So
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying
true.
is, what I'm saying, son, kids, whenever you hear me talk on anything I talk about, I know what I'm talking about. Whether you believe it or accept it or not is irrelevant. I really don't care.
Right.
All right.
Good for
But as
you.
a man, I don't speak on that which I do not know, because that would make me an ignoramus. And although I'm ignorant to some things, I'm not completely ignorant.
Right. No, I
So
can
I said,
respect that. I'm the same way.
I say that to say, just to let chicks know that when I speak on y'all, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You ain't gonna tell me I don't know. I know what the you ain't gonna. I know what I'm talking about. I know y'all. Been dealing with y'all my whole life. You hear me? The
Right.
crazy thing is, son, kiss, and if you're honest, right? The crazy thing is, y'all been dealing with mostly black dudes your whole life, and y'all don't know us for shit. It'd be crazy to me. You been dealing with niggas your whole life, and you still this goofy? You got 3 baby dads, and you still this goofy when it come to niggas?
Right.
It's crazy, man. But I'm about to get up out of here, y'all, because I have to go to work. I work third shift. Got 2 jobs outside of everything else I do, right?
Let's go.
So you know what I'm saying? All that bullshit about I don't attest to any of that. Every nigga I fuck with is either a hardworking man at some job or he got his own business. He hardworking at that. I don't deal with niggas who still in the streets like that. No, it's a part of my life that's done and over with. You know, 3 penitentiary numbers later, I wish I would. So, son, kiss in our closure.
Yes.
Go ahead and leave him with some last words, baby. You know what I'm saying? First, I want to say, son, kids, I'm glad that you came up. You feel me? Because I know a lot of y'all. Listen, I know myself very well, ladies, man. I know myself very well. And I know why a lot of y'all tap in. I look at my analytics. A lot of y'all be tapping in, but y'all don't come up. And I know why y'all don't. I know that I'm very intimidating. I know this, right? But what I always tell y'all and encourage y'all is that I'm a man. I'm a gentleman. You gotta remember, I was raised by my mama. I'm not a dickhead, although I can be at times. I love women, specifically black women. Not gonna overtalk you. I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm not gonna make you feel like you're in a space where you can't be yourself or answer how you feel. But like I say, when you say something contrary, being the man that I am, I'm gonna check that ass, which means I might cut you off. And if I cut you off, guess what? It's because you're saying some stupid shit, right?
Yeah.
And most of y'all chicks think y'all be sounding smart. Y'all think y'all saying some prophetical, some well thought out shit, and that shit stupid as fuck. That's why we cut y'all off when we talking. You notice when you saying something that's right and exact, a brother sit there and be silent.
Right.
When you start saying some stupid, goofy shit, that's when we cut your goofy ass off. And that's what you need. And that's why fathers are important in their daughters' lives. To teach them how to speak, when to speak. When you're talking to a man, know how to conduct yourself as a woman. Don't overtalk no man. Don't talk while no man is talking. And if a man cuts you off, understand the difference from the example of your father, a nigga who's just talking shit and being disrespectful. And when you is saying something goofy, you need to shut the fuck up and listen to what that man is saying to you. And you can say it's a little rude, but you know, I don't think of it as rude. I think of it as being assertive, right? Which could be argued. So some kids go here and leave them with some last words before we get up out of here, baby.
Okay. I appreciate you letting me up, and this is a dope stream, you know. Like you said, this conversation isn't had enough, or it's
Right.
had, but it should be more, you know, it should have some more miles on it. So
right.
Salute to you, salute to everybody. I say just move with intention and
Right.
hold yourself accountable. Everything that you think, and it really don't take things so personal, because that will eliminate a whole bunch of stuff. People that
Definitely.
aren't coming for you might be, you know, people have bad days. It might not be specifically for you. Just kind of
Right.
like awareness, you know, awareness. But yeah, everybody, take care. I appreciated being here.
Yeah, man.
And
You know, some kids, we're gonna have to do that little collabo thing, man. You're gonna have to come on here and get
yeah,
interviewed by those Stacks with the Facts, man, like Brownie did, man. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, let's go.
We'll holler
I'm
at
ready.
behind scenes. We'll talk behind scenes, man. You know, I'll get in
Okay.
contact with you, man.
All right, all right.
All right,
Have a
baby.
good
You have
night.
a good evening. Thanks for coming up.
No problem. See you next time.
All right. And answer you get rich or die trying, right? Or cry trying. Let me answer your question before we get up out of here, because I knew somebody. I knew this was going to come up. And now you were hate, and I would hate for a woman to cut you off if you were in the same boat. Yeah, let me tell you the difference though, right? I just literally said this too. See, you cutting me off because you just want to say what you want to say. You cut me off 9 times out of 10, you're being rude. See, if I cut you off, it's because you saying something goofy. See, I don't say goofy shit. This is where a lot of chicks think brothers be arrogant, and they're confusing arrogance with confidence, right? Intelligence, right? I'm not a goofy ass nigga. I'm not a stupid ass nigga. I'm not an unintelligent ass nigga. So if you cut me off, you're being fucking rude. If I cut you off, you probably said some goofy shit. Because if you're saying something right and exact that makes it sound sensible, I'm not going to cut you off. I'm going to speak in the vernacular of silence, resting the essence of my brother Sinful to P. I'm going to speak in the vernacular of silence. Because when you're saying something that makes sense, as soon as you say some goofy ass shit, I'm going to cut that shit off, because that's my job as a man, to correct, to chastise, Most of y'all ladies not being raised with men don't understand the difference. So you would think that's being rude, not realizing that shit you saying out your goddamn mouth is stupid and goofy as hell. Right? No, listen here, that's not my perspective. That's men's perspective. Right? Most men think just like that. This is what I want to let y'all ladies know too. Most men, the key word here is men. Most men think exactly like how I do. See, I don't say goofy shit. Goofy niggas say goofy shit. I don't say goofy things. Not intentionally, right? Or not unintentionally anyway. If I say some goofy shit, it's because I'm being silly. And I ain't gonna trip about you cutting me off when I do. But when we was talking about some serious stuff, like now, and you cut me off, now you just being rude. If I cut you off, you done said something goofy. Now, if you want to accept that or not, that's on you. He said, and that's why I talk about communication. I think that's a big issue with men and women, but this is a good topic for later on. Yeah, we'll get to it. Next week, we're going to talk about the importance right? We're gonna talk about women and how y'all can be a detriment to y'all son. We're gonna talk about that next week for Ladies Night. You know what I'm saying? So thanks everybody for coming out. I appreciate y'all tapping in, walking with me. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Get Rich or Cry Trying. Thank you for coming out. You did. You know what I'm saying? Goofiness ain't a perspective. Goofy is goofy. Listen here. If I tell you saying some goofy shit, guess what? You saying some goofy shit. I don't give a damn if you like that or not, or accept that or not. You don't have to. One thing for sure, two things for certain. If a man like me tells you that what you're saying is goofy, it's probably some goofy shit. Right? And y'all ladies got to understand that most of y'all be saying goofy shit. And once you understand, see, this is why men is important. This is why it's important for you to have a man, a critical thinking, intelligent man. Because he's going to let you know when you're saying some goofy shit. See, a fuck nigga going to let you say some goofy shit. And because he wants some pussy, he going to let you say that shit. See, me, I'm not trying to fuck you. So I'm going to tell your ass what it is. No, I mean, we can agree all you. You don't have to agree with me. Well, see, listen here. Get Rich or Cry Trying. The fact that you disagree is irrelevant, right? You hear me? It's irrelevant. If you talking to a guy like me, a grown-ass man, intelligent, critical thinking, respectful man, if you're talking to me and I cut you off, it's probably because you said some goofy shit, right? Some shit that I say, whoa, that's contrary, right? But I don't do that a lot. You know what I'm saying? I tend to let people talk themselves into a rut. And when it come to, I've learned when it comes to talking with women, let me correct that. When it comes to talking to females, if I just tend to fall back and let y'all talk, and y'all talk yourself right into that fucking cavernous pit of fucking goofiness. You feel me? And I can tell, Get Rich or Cry Trying, how old are you? Because you seem like you a young girl. You seem like you a young chick. Right? How old are you? All right. Anyway, man, I appreciate y'all coming out. You know what I'm saying? I know I might come off a little brash, you know what I'm saying, a little harsh. You know what I'm saying? But I got the heart of gold. You know, I actually love y'all, right? To death. You feel me? Oh yeah, you 38. Yeah, you ain't no young girl. You ain't no spring chicken, right? You 38 years young. You feel me? No children. 38, no children. Red flag. No, I'm just talking shit. I'm talking shit. Nah, but tap in, walk with me, y'all, man. I listen and let black women. Specifically black women. I love all women, but specifically black women. I love y'all. I actually have respect for y'all, right? You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to be the best versions of yourself, what I know y'all could be. You feel me? But that's going to come with checking, chastising, and correcting. It ain't going to be nice all the time. It ain't going to be cute, right? And you may think it's not respectable, right? Because then your feelings, but you know, I have nothing but the utmost respect for y'all. I would never ever intentionally disrespect anybody unless they disrespect me first. And when it gets to that point, I'll just cut off the conversation because I'm not the type of guy that's going to sit up here and just be in disrespect. So, you know what I'm saying? Thank everybody for coming out tonight. You feel me? We got my baby son Kiss done sit up here and came through. You know what I'm saying? Get Rich or Cry Trying and came through. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Get Rich or Cry Trying, man. You look like you a firecracker. You hear me? and that's how I raised my daughter. None of y'all should stand for disrespect, but understand the difference between checking, chastising, and correcting, and disrespecting. You dig? Y'all enjoy y'all's evening, man. Listen, man, smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, tap in, walk with me, share on your social engineering. Tomorrow night, we got a special episode of Friday night. You feel me? We got a special episode of E&E Fridays. We're gonna be tapping in over here at E&E Studios. You dig? You know what I'm saying? And tap in and walk with us. We're gonna be on my brother King L's over here at E&E Studios. We got a nice grown and sexy paint and sip situation going on. We're gonna be tasting my brother L's new wine, H something rest in the essence to my big homie, Big Dom, my brother King L's pops. He named this wine after his pops, and we're gonna be tasting the wine, and we're gonna be painting the picture that L picked. I can't remember the name of it, but we're gonna go live while we're doing it, and y'all gonna be more than welcome to tap in. We're gonna discuss this week's current events, trending topics while we listen to E&E music, paint a beautiful painting, and we're gonna be sipping on some house blend, specially made by my brother King L. So you know what I'm saying? Tap in and walk with me. I'm gonna cam up real quick again. Ladies, I love y'all, man. You hear me? Specifically y'all black ladies. Love y'all to death. Tap in, walk with me. And realize y'all are going to settle if you want a man. You're going to settle, right? Or should I say, now understand what I mean when I say settle. You're going to settle, right? Just don't settle for less. Like Pimp C told y'all, settle for the most, not the lesser. You hear me? Don't settle for less, babies. Tap in, walk with me. Thank y'all for coming out. Yeah. You know what comes a time in every man's life. We ready to settle down and make things right. But only for that special one. We're trying to make her you. But y'all want to keep playing games with these lanes. So make your next move your best move, because we the best dudes. Oh yeah, don't feel blessed, man. This song is dedicated to all the ladies that came in and tapped in tonight. Tap in and walk with us. Y'all so beautiful. You're so beautiful, baby. You know I really wanna invite you to my world and show you my unique persona. We can get together, steam it up like a sauna, take you on the natural high, no marijuana, just a bottle of wine, some ice cube prosecco. You holding on to that lame dude, you should let go. You was gonna be mine from the very get-go. I'm trying to make you white because you're special. You got the best clothes, design the fresh clothes, make your own dough, own your home dough. Vehicle was fully paid for. Your frame's clean though, selfie clean. You know your angles. Red bottom heels, $5 they trusted pangos. We got the same goals, common land and common bankrolls. Creating generational wealth, so on seas grow. I know your needs know, and you know mine's the same. It's the honor and the privilege to give you my last name. Girl, I know what you around. You squeeze, you know that's mandatory. I'm trying to open your mind, keep the allegory. They say that love don't last, so let's change the story. I set my heart out to you, please come for me. Let's take control of our love. No conforming, late night love sessions last until the early morning. Cooking breakfast, but naked ends, bacon with toast. Fried potatoes and onions, throwing the most. When my body be aching, you rub the pain out. Roll up the Dutchess for me while I pour champagne out. I pour my heart at myself, plus my pain out. You got to deal with right shit, so leave them blank even if you're alone, we always think of you. Me. So don't settle, don't settle.
That's what the facts. Me. Yeah. To all my ladies. Let's play. Don't let us not hang out. Summertime bang out. You know what I mean? Each one is gonna do that season, baby. Don't fall for less. I can't you better than you can take it from the man. Girl, I know why you keep these flames around. Why the love don't you still alive?